Oh, my shoulders. They hurt. They burn.
Merry Christmas!
And I could use the momentum, but if I go slower, and upside down kettlebell, just make sure that you keep everything. Ow! Oh, my shoulders. They hurt. They burn. You know what that means. It's time to rehab them. But yeah, man, everything's just been lighting this shoulder up of mine. And, you know, I do know, looking over the program, my overall pushing volume is really high. I mean, the anterior delt is getting, it's getting hit like 8 to 10 different exercises a week. So I know for a fact it's just getting overtrained. And so today we're gonna do some rehab work, a little bit of stability work, and mostly give that anterior delt a nice break from everything. It's been working hard. It hasn't been complaining. It's just, but now it's gone too far, and now I gotta rehab it before I have some sort of injury. Because when you get that type of pain, you know what type of pain it is before you get an injury. Because it twinges, it fatigues, it feels achy. You don't really get a nice burn. You don't get a nice pump. You don't get that nice soreness after a workout. It's just, as you go through the motion, it's like, ooh, we're developing some shoulder pain. So we're gonna go through, we're gonna do some rehab stuff and just kind of give a little bit of life back to these shoulders, because I'm really trying to progress as much as I can to keep the intensity as high as I can as I'm trying to lose weight. And realistically, I should probably just start programming my days out where they're all hit orientated. It's more circuit fashion, more time under tension, gets my heart rate up a little bit more. Fun fact, most of the fat that you burn, when you do burn it, comes out through breathing. Really weird, I know, but you actually lose most of the fat through exhaling. Weird. Fun fact, weird fact. I bet you didn't understand that. But you didn't know that. But if you did know that, that makes you really cool. So we're gonna rehab, touch them up, heal them up. It's not gonna be a super crazy video today, kind of like my previous video. It's gonna be a nice slower pace, like just join me for my workout, and I'll kind of explain a lot of the stuff as I'm doing it. So if that's something you're interested in, please stay along. If not, I am coming out with the follow along workout series, and of course every once in a while I do short films, and I'd like to start doing skits. I think those are really funny. Right now the creative juices, they're not there. So needless to say, thank you for being here. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe. Let's get into this shoulder rehab program. So first, we're gonna beat these shoulders into submission. First thing we do is we kind of go through and find some tender spots in the shoulder. And when we find them, we're gonna work on them for about 30 seconds. Something that I remember I watched a few people do, and the only reason why I put more weight into it is because for me personally it worked really well, is instead of beating down directly onto the shoulder, because it's pretty thin through there, I like to go basically cross section. I like to go perpendicular to the muscle fibers and kind of go sideways at the same time. So it's more of like a rubbing motion than a beating motion. So it's rubbing, it's not beating it. So I kind of just go through and I find little spots that are really tender, like that one. And I kind of just work them for 30 seconds until they feel better. So we're gonna kind of just work through here on both shoulders and do this. This also helps warm them up before I work out. We're just gonna go through, loosen these up a little bit and find areas that are compensating and getting overly active and tight. and we're gonna loosen them up. And I also like to go around the muscles around the joint that also attach across the shoulder, like the bicep, the pec, the lat, and loosen everything up. So if there's one thing in particular, a couple things in particular that are causing a heavy tightness within the joint, I just loosen it all just in case. I'll just go through and loosen everything. And that way when I get to warming everything back up, everything's starting back at square one. So after I get all that done, from here we'll go to some stability work. I strengthen the stabilizers. I also do some main movements that are based on stabilization. And then we'll also do some no weight endurance stuff for the shoulders to kind of get some blood flow there and focus on range of motion, which my favorite one is YTAs, and you'll see that probably towards the end, but we'll also have a few other exercises in. And stick around if you're interested in learning a little secret. That might be clickbait, I don't know. You know, with shoulder pain, you should get that checked out. Get it? It's like should get that checked out, because should get it checked out. But shoulder, but I had the ER. So
No, God, please.
I know.
No.
I'm trying though. What puns did you come up with? None. No, I don't see any for shoulders. It would have been great. I should have dealt with that sooner. That was a good one. I don't care what you say. We're gonna go through, stretch the anterior, the lateral, and the rear delt. We need to be delting with the shoulder vein before it delts with us. I know, I should have just left it at the other one. Stretch forward, drop those shoulders, really stretch those fibers, the anterior deltoid. Makes me so sleepy. Does anyone else deal with that? Stretching makes you sleepy? It makes me so tired. I can load up on pre-workout, and if I'm stretching before or after a workout, it makes me ready to go to sleep. It's so yeah, there's nothing to, but my arms were open. Do you get it? Who got that reference? Let me tone it down into comments. Okay, yeah, I know it's bad, but I'm trying. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm angry because my shoulders are sore and I have to rehab them and I can't, you know, rep stuff out and just go into a nice killer shoulder day routine. It's upsetting. Sorry. I'm upset. Oh, I should really take this bag down because it's like you're at a social gathering and it's that one person who doesn't know how to mind their own space. They just keep bumping shoulders. They're like way too close. And it's like, stop, no, stop touching, stop. And that's when you usually start hitting the bag, not the person. I do have to say, with some recent feedback in person and on a comment, I'm gonna start being more true to myself and just being weird for you guys, because that's who I am. I'm weird and I like fitness. Anything relating to fitness, which is so vague, you know. Sport specific people, like, oh, you wanna get better at basketball, better at boxing, better at fighting, wrestling, all that other stuff. And I know that, but sometimes you just gotta pick things up and put them down. Nutrition pretty on point this morning. We got 1/3 of our calories in. I think we're at like 700 something. We're at 60. No, I ate a snack after that. We're probably at 800 calories then. And we're probably rocking 70 something grams of protein. I've almost made it halfway through my protein goals for the day. We're gonna do some more stretching, but I'm running out of things to say, so I'm gonna let you go for a little bit. You'll come back though. So we did our stretching, we did some dead hangs to help decompress the shoulder just a little bit. We're gonna do some up and overs, and after that we're gonna work on our internal external rotation, and then we're gonna do some press while also preventing it from pulling our arm forward. Sometimes the fancy anatomy words slip me, but basically we're gonna be pressing up and then preventing forward pull. So we're gonna do external rotation while also doing a press. It's so light, I feel like I could fly. Nice and light, just kind of get the blood flow there and stimulate the external rotators. There it is. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna do this for 3 reps, 3 sets, internal My shoulder said no. So as a smart person, we're gonna do it again. Something just kind of flicked over in the joint and hit a nerve. That way we don't get an injury and actually have to take like 6-8 weeks off from doing anything and then do physical therapy for it. I'm all about prevention, because prevention is just a fantastic way to live your life. I guess, I don't know. I prefer prevention than to get super far into it and then need to completely reset. You know what? I got too busy talking to you guys that I completely forgot to count. So this exercise, this next one I'm gonna do is really interesting. We externally rotate behind our head and we push straight up, externally rotate, straight up, and it's pulling us back. So to keep the shoulders stable and strong, especially behind our head, this is gonna allow us to build that strength and endurance for those muscles. So this next exercise is experimental because I was trying to figure out how to challenge the lateral delt in a stabilization way. So what I do is I hook this band up to this kettlebell and I do lateral raises. And because that gets super out of hand super quickly, because if I go super quick, that kettlebell just starts swinging. And I could use the momentum, but if I go slower and it's sitting there bouncing and doing its thing on its own, whew, it's killer to keep that stable. The next one is a chaos version of it. The variation of this exercise, which does seem to work, is if you have somebody, because it's really hard to do it on your own, unless you can balance on one foot, you kick it while you're doing it. And you really have to stabilize these just really chaotic movements. And it's great. It's fantastic. It burns almost immediately. And a lot of people don't need to do this fancy stuff. I completely get it. But it definitely gives me an edge when I'm doing stuff and really helps condition my shoulders. There's a lot of other stability things that I could do in replace of this, but I don't have the equipment here with me. Woo. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an experimental exercise that I do when I'm here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those. All right, well, you stayed this far, so you deserve a little secret sauce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna review this exercise, which you've seen once in one of my previous videos, and if you've watched my YouTube shorts, you would have seen it there at least one time. So this is a banded kettlebell shoulder press. This is going to allow to keep the shoulder stabilized and active through the full range of motion to help prevent any injury and to make sure everything's nice and secure. Feeling strong and stable, and having an upside down kettlebell just makes sure that you keep everything as stable as possible. Now you want to keep those hands above those elbows and you want to go up and down like you're just doing a typical shoulder press. You're going to do 5 on each side and then do on the other side, and that's one set. You keep everything nice and tight as you go through the range of motion. Keep that shoulder stabilized and braced through the full range of motion. The kettlebell's for the stabilization, the band is to help keep everything braced. And this is going to allow you to move pain-free for the most part, depending on what the issue is of your shoulder, whether it's overtrained, impingement, or anything like that. Typically it's an imbalance, but stuff needs to be assessed. So take what I say with a grain of salt, because every situation is different, and the treatment plan and rehab exercises that I do are designed and meant for me because of my specific issues that I have with my shoulders, and I know what works for me and I know what doesn't work for me. So take what I say with a grain of salt, because what I do might make your situation worse. So thank you for sticking with me this long in the video. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe. If you do enjoy this video, share it with your workout buddies or someone who's wanting to start working out. Whether it's this video or any of my other Road to Pro video series, within the series that is. Yeah. So I'm just glad that we done dealt with the pain today and kind of went through this. Like I said, I'm probably going to do this program on shoulder days for the next 2 to 3 weeks, see how my shoulders feel after that, and then gradually get back up into heavier weights. Like I did when I was rehabbing my sciatic pain, my pulled piriformis. So, but thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe, like the video, ring the notification bell. Thanks for being here. You know what's really weird is I just realized I have a bottle of Tabasco in my pocket this whole time. I don't know why it's in there. Oh, it's because I ate breakfast this morning, and anyway. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay strong, stay grinding, stay smiling. This is Shiloh signing off. I'll see you next time.